They crossed your line again, and now you feel that steady burn in your ribs that never leaves once it wakes up. You know the feeling. It sits deep, and it pulses like a warning. You tried to ignore it for years because you want it to be good. You want it to be easy to love. You want it to be someone who never caused trouble. But people took that and sharpened it into a weapon against you. They called you overreactive when you felt pain. They called you sensitive when you told the truth. They called you dramatic when you asked for respect. They shaped a version of you that worked for them, and they expected you to stay inside that shape forever. And you did, because you thought it kept the peace. Because you thought it kept relationships alive. Because you thought letting things slide made you strong. It never did. It only taught them that they could push you without consequence. It taught them your limits were negotiable. It taught them your heart was cheap. It taught them your time was free. That ends now. You feel that shift in the air. You feel your old self peeling off your skin like dead weight. You feel the version of you that swallowed your needs stepping aside. The monster steps in. It is not wild. It is not reckless. It is focused. It sees everything you ignored. It remembers every insult you pretended did not hurt. It remembers every time someone laughed at your efforts. It remembers every night you stayed awake replaying conversations that broke you. It remembers every time you forgave people who never said sorry. It remembers every time you stood alone while others pretended to support you. This memory fuels it. This memory builds your spine. This memory gives you a clarity you never had before. You do not fear losing people. You fear losing yourself again. You fear going back to a version of you that everyone loved because it was easy to exploit. You fear repeating old wounds. You fear giving people your trust before they earn it. You fear wasting more years on people who never grew with you. These fears are good. They guide you. They protect you. They keep you honest. You stop confusing loyalty with self-betrayal. You stop calling pain normal. You stop calling chaos love. You stop calling manipulation care. You stop calling disrespect a joke. The monster inside you strips away all the excuses you used to defend others. Now you see the truth. They knew what they were doing. They knew you would forgive them. They knew you would fold first. They knew you would swallow your hurt and smile for the sake of peace. They expected this cycle to continue forever. They expected you to stay small. They expected you to stay quiet. They expected you to stay grateful for crumbs. They never saw you breaking. They never saw you learning. They never saw you sharpening your mind every time they pushed you. They never saw you collecting every lesson until it became armor. They never saw the monster growing in the dark. But now they will. You speak with strength. Your tone changes. Your eyes change. Your posture shifts. People feel it before you say a word. You carry a certainty that cannot be faked. You carry a fire that cannot be dimmed. You carry a self-respect that no one can negotiate. When someone tries to test your limits, you stop them with one look. When they try to guilt trip you, you recognize the pattern. When they try to make you doubt yourself, you replay everything you survived and you hold your ground. This is power, not loud, not angry, controlled, direct, honest. People fear this kind of strength because they cannot manipulate it. They cannot bend it. They cannot use it. They cannot guilt it. They cannot drain it. And they cannot break it. You do not build walls. You build standards. You do not isolate yourself. You refine your circle. You do not chase people. You attract the ones who understand your value. You do not fight for attention. You give your energy to people who match it. You do not repeat old cycles. You choose peace over old patterns. The monster protects this new world you create. It guards your progress. It guards your healing. It guards your boundaries. It guards your peace. People will not like this version of you. They will call you cold. They will call you selfish. They will call you distant. They call you these things because you no longer give them what they used to take. Do not soften for them. Do not turn back. Do not shrink. You earned this strength through pain that no one saw, through nights that no one understood, through battles that no one respected. Your story is yours. You do not need approval. You need truth. And the truth is simple. When they do not respect you, the monster answers for you. And that monster is the most honest version of you that ever lived. They crossed your line again, and something inside you does not flinch anymore. That old panic is gone. That old fear is gone. That old habit of blaming yourself is gone. You feel a different energy now. It sits in your stomach like a decision you already made. You do not explain yourself. You do not beg. You do not try to convince anyone of your worth. You stand in the truth of who you became, and the truth speaks for you. People notice it. They do not know what changed, but they feel it. They feel the silence in your voice that used to shake. They feel the control in your breathing that used to break. They feel the weight in your presence that used to disappear. You are not louder, you are sharper. You are not colder, you are clearer. You are not mean, you are exact. There is power in this shift, real power. Power that does not need to raise its voice. Power that does not need to prove anything. Power that does not hide its pain behind fake smiles. This power came from the dark places you never talk about. The nights when your thoughts hit you like bricks. The mornings when getting out of bed felt like dragging your soul through mud. The moments when you swallowed your anger because you feared losing the people who hurt you. The days when you had to pretend you were fine while everything inside you screamed. Pain shaped you. Silence sharpened you. Betrayal forced you to grow in ways you never wanted. You learned to read people. You learn to spot lies. You learn to see motives. You learn to tell the difference between someone who cares and someone who needs you for their own comfort. This is why the monster inside you is no longer a threat. It is a compass. It points you toward truth. It shows you what you ignored. It keeps you from repeating the same mistake twice. It saves you from your own softness when softness becomes self-harm. People think the monster is rage. It is not. It is boundaries. It is standards. It is clarity. It is your final line. The line they cannot cross again. You watch how people react when you stop bending. Some pull away. Good. They never plan to stay. Some get irritated. Good. They only valued you when you were easy to control. Some try to guilt you. Good. Their mask slips. Some try to test you again. They want to see if the change is real. It is. You do not return to old patterns. You do not comfort people who caused your wounds. You do not shrink because someone is uncomfortable with your growth. Their discomfort is not your problem. Their reaction is not your responsibility. Their opinion has no power here. You learn something hard. Respect is not something you ask for. Respect is enforced by your actions. Respect is earned by how you carry yourself when someone tries to cross your line. Your tone changes from soft to steady. Your words change from emotional to exact. Your choices change from pleasing others to protecting your peace. This is the part they never saw coming. You were not weak. You were patient. You were not afraid. You were considerate. You were not silent because you had no voice. You were silent because you were studying everything around you. And now that you understand it all, now that your eyes are open, now that your heart is armored, nobody can treat you the way they once did. The monster inside you stands behind you with cold focus. It is not here for revenge. It is here to make sure you never lower yourself again. It guides your steps. It reminds you who you became. It shows you who deserves access to you and who never did. You feel lighter when you cut dead weight. You feel clearer when you stop explaining your worth. You feel stronger when you stop accepting half love. You feel free when you stop forgiving people who do not change. This freedom is new. It feels strange. It feels like quiet power spreading through your veins. It feels like breathing after years of holding your breath. And now people who once doubted you look at you with confusion. They do not know how you walked away without breaking. They do not know how you built strength out of heartbreak. They do not know how you turned your pain into armor. They do not know that every time they crossed your line, they were building the monster that now stands behind you. The monster answers for you every time someone tries to disrespect you, every time someone tries to pull you back, every time someone tries to diminish you, and you let it. Because now you understand something important. Protecting your peace is not selfish. It is survival. And if you feel that truth in your bones, if you feel this rise happening inside you, if you feel the monster waking up, drop a comment and tell me you feel it. Tell me you choose your peace. Tell me you refuse to shrink again. Your voice matters. Speak it.